before I walk in the gym, I need you to put that 30 down. And then everything else afterwards. But at least it's going to be 30. When Mike walk onto the court, just put down 30 before the game start. Like, before the game, like they play 7:30, you can put it down at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, all right, he going to at least get 30, and then we'll fill in whatever else he get afterwards.
How long did it take him to develop?
No. Second year, he was getting 60s.
When we introduced
He was
him
getting
to
60s.
Yeah,
He was getting 60s.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. We on. One.
What's the name?
Oh, he is going to
Two. I had a bean for this.
You wasn't supposed to get this.
What's this?
I wish you wouldn't have won.
I was part of a
Hey, what's going
I
on?
bought 20
Minute.
tickets.
What's that?
This is what I won at the raffle. So I bought 20 tickets.
Listen, out of like 300 people, it was 3 gifts. This moment, I told my wife, I was like, man, I don't want that. I want to say, I started so bad to be like,
Right.
no, somebody else won.
Right.
But she was like, you know what, go ahead.
You're a
babe. I
winner.
was like, all right.
It's fucked up. You thought about doing that to me.
I
You
did.
thought about doing that to me.
You was going to buy the tickets anyway, so you
Right.
ain't have to run.
WMTC Live 215 Radio.
Hey. About to get it popping, get it cracking in about 2 minutes.
WMTC Live. This is my third time. on the
TMC,
show.
but
So
you
you
know.
like a fake co-host?
I don't even know.
He said like you like a. Listen,
He just threw me in the mix.
I mean, he gravitates, man.
Now we here.
Now we here.
Helping him get on his feet. This thing gonna
I
blow
mean,
up.
Oh, I ain't mad at it.
Michael Jordan is the greatest. You can't be the greatest if it took you 7.
They gonna stop listening
Took
to
you
your
seven
show
to
if you
do
say
what?
anybody
Then
but
start
Mike is the
blinging.
greatest.
Took you 7 to
if they
start
say,
blinging.
If you say no, they say LeBron is the greatest. More people now, like in this era. Wow,
Gee.
I don't know.
He had his ring on layaway for 7 years. It's a long time to have some ring on. He didn't decide to go to the dance.
Mike,
Took him 7 years.
I mean,
It took LeBron more than that.
I mean, he did it naturally.
I don't talk about it.
And Michael Jordan didn't play with Kareem. You know, Magic and I play with
look,
Worthy, all of them, as soon as he came.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're live here at the Frequency Show. It's Wednesday, December. And we're here with Philly's own, great coach, professional player, many accolades, but he's here with us, Sean Colson. How you doing today, Sean?
How's it going, my man?
Here with Turk. What's going on, Turk? How you feel today, sir?
what's going on? I'm ecstatic, hype, as
Yeah.
usual.
And I'm with the Freak. How you feeling today, Freak?
I'm good.
Before we get into this interview, we was having a heated debate, me and Sean, about the greatest basketball player of all times. He says Michael Jordan. I say Magic Johnson. Sean, how do you feel about that? Do you really think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time?
I mean, I just don't understand why me and you keep having this conversation, to be honest. But I mean, he's 6'6", man.
Uh-huh.
He dominated the league.
Uh-huh.
He was part of an era when basketball was really, really good. Like basketball is good now, and the talent level is good. But back then it was better players. I'm just being honest. And he dominated then.
Okay.
You know, and I just feel like that's another reason, his era of why he's the best player.
So it took him 7 years to get a championship.
Yeah, it was good teams back then. That's the difference.
Who were the good teams?
I mean, Houston. I mean, the Knicks, Detroit, the Celtics. I mean, it was a lot of good teams back, and it was
Portland.
it was just more right. It was just Phoenix. It was just more teams spread out. But now Golden State. There's no way Golden State and Cleveland going to the NBA Finals 4 years in a row.
But it would always been like that. It always been
I
like
don't
that.
think so. Not 4 years in a row. That's never happened.
Not 4 in a row, but I'm
And-
just saying
and
it
not
was
even
only
just
certain
4 in a
teams
row.
dominating decades.
Yeah.
Like when you go in the early 2000s up to the end, right?
Right.
It was only like basically 2 to 3 teams.
Right.
It was Miami, it was the Lakers, and then it was San Antonio. Sprinkle in a little bit of dollars, but it was only 2 teams that was really dominating the championship thing. That's why Tim Duncan got 5 and Kobe got his.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it always been dominated like that. In the 80s, it was the Lakers in Boston.
But I feel as though when those teams win championships,
Right.
there a couple of those years, teams fall off for whatever reason, injuries,
Right.
whatever the case. So you're not playing the same team over and over. But it's like at the beginning of the year, the last 4 years, you kind of knew, maybe not the first year, but those next three, it's going to be Cleveland and Golden State.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of takes the anxiety out of it. You know what I mean? You know in September.
Right.
Oh man, I know where I'm going in June.
Mm-hmm.
I know the two teams. So and it wasn't like that back then. Was Houston going to win? Was the Knicks going to win? Was Detroit? Was Georgia? Was Boston? It was
Right.
just a lot more. It was just a lot more teams and better players. Sorry.
I couldn't see Golden State losing the past 4 years.
Right.
I didn't see another West team that was even close.
Right. I didn't see a team that was close.
Falling off. That's why I thought I was like, they're old, so
Uh-huh.
they're going to lose to them. But as far as them not making a championship, I couldn't even like when the season started. I was like, oh, they're going to be in the championship. Who they going to play? I had doubts about Cleveland a couple of years, like especially when Kyrie left. I was like, oh, they done.
Right.
They went back twice. Twice
Now,
or once? It was once.
now listen to this. If you just heard a great basketball mind, this is why he's a good coach. This is why Sean is a good coach. This is why he's a public league champion coach. You just heard a great basketball mind. He dissected things from errors. A lot of guys didn't. They just coach just to be coaching. They get a bunch of talent and they just coach talent. He knows errors. He knows positions. Am I correct, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I know the game really well from, playing it and being around players that, were, even obviously better than me. And even
Right.
coaches that's like, great coaches and picking apart their brain and things
Right.
like that. So, that helped. Even when I was overseas, like, I had really, really good coaches who won championships over there and really gave me certain philosophies that I follow to this day now that I'm a coach.
Okay. So, Sean, let's get right into it. When did you start playing basketball?
Well, I started playing ball when I was a really, really young kid, probably 3 years old. I just always used to say, I'm gonna make it. I started out with that. Like, I'm gonna make it. I like basketball and I'm gonna make it. And my grandma and my mom used to always be like, what do you mean by make it? And I'm like, I'm just gonna make it. So, that's it. So, I started out when I was very young.
Real young. So, who was some of your big influences while you was young? Not
when
now,
I-
but back
No.
then.
When I was young, my uncle played. His name is Anthony. My uncle's name is Anthony Bennett, and he played, just locally
Uh-huh.
in the rec centers and school. He was pretty good guard, and he was like the guy that I was like, man, he's pretty good. I know he would probably like for me to say I looked up to him, but I definitely used to watch him, and I lived across the street from a schoolyard where a lot of really good players played all the time. So I got to watch them. And he played as well. So,
Right.
I got a chance to see a lot. I mean, the Hanks and Bo, all those guys played at Meade Schoolyard in between 19th and 18th and Columbia, which is now Cecil B. Moore now.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So that was a great a great outside court that a lot of people played in the wintertime, summertime. And I got to experience that and watch a lot of good players come through there.
When you finally got to get out there, how long was it before you proved that you belonged, or you felt as though you belonged?
Well, a long time, because that was a really good competitive court where a lot of good ball players came. So I probably didn't actually get on the court. I mean, really could do something probably to 10th grade, 9th grade, something like that, where I started to at least be able to get out there and be okay. Then maybe 11th grade is when I really start, people are like, man, he's really good. They knew I was really good, but, guys are older, stronger. They, grown-ups.
Right.
And that grown man strength and the IQ of the game, I could play, I had talent, but I couldn't do it with those guys until I got to maybe 11th grade where I felt comfortable about playing against anybody out there.
Well, besides the grown man game, and as you grew learn how to, dribble with your left hand, dribble with your right hand, and your schooling, basketball-wise, when did you feel like you can actually compete or be on the basketball team for like middle school, high school, stuff like that?
When I was young, I played in, like everybody else, the PALs and things like that, crisis intervention and things like that. And I went to Vaux when Vaux was a middle school. Vaux wasn't even a high school when I was there. And then I went to Franklin Learning Center and didn't really play the first 2 years because just a knucklehead, messing around and just not doing what I'm supposed to. And I finally got my act together in 11th grade because I actually only played 11th grade. And then I went to 12th grade up Maine Central for 12th grade. And, that went well.
That's prep school?
Yes, prep school. I went up there for 12th grade, and that went well. But I actually didn't play, like, in school. But I was just known for, I played in everything as far as, like, Sunny Hill and all those type of things, and I did well.
So the Philadelphia knew of Sean
Yes,
Colson,
yes, right.
but they're like, you don't play high school,
Right, exactly.
but we know, I
Right.
understand. So tell us,
Tell me, I ain't know who he was. But I was nobody back then, so that's why I ain't know.
right. Church said he was nobody. He was nobody.
Right.
So take us back to your year at FLC.
Oh, it was good, man. The 2 years before that, Simon Gratz had won the championship 2 years in a row. And I want to say the year before that, they may have been #1 in the country or something like that. So I was at Bartram. I was at Bartram for 10th grade because I got put out actually at Franklin Learning Center. So after 10th grade, I was actually supposed to go to Gratz for 11th grade. I knew Rashid, I knew, the Sean Smiths of the world, Cottrell Scotts, all those guys. And I was actually planning to go there, had my transcript, and I promised the day I went to the train station, this is a true story, and I literally just decided to go the other way. I'm supposed to meet a couple of the players, at, what is that, Broad and Huntington Park where Gratz is, and I just decided when I got there, I didn't tell anybody. I'm just going to go the other way. And I went to Franklin Learning Center. I've told a couple people this story, but I had my transcript. And I just said, you know what, I'm not going to Gratz. I don't want to go there with everybody. I thought I did, but I was like, you know what, it would be better if I went there and then we played against them. So I decided to do that, and I showed up at the school, and they were looking at me like, why are you here? Because, the rumor was I was going to Gratz and things like that. So I just went there, and the vice principal who had put me out asked me, like, why are you here? And I asked him, can I speak to him? I said, listen, I learned my lesson. I was kind of a, you know what, when I was in 9th grade, spent the year at Bartram. I want to go, I want to come back. And he was like, you really? And I was like, yeah. I said, I got my transcript. I was supposed to go to Gratz, but now I'm saying I want to come back. And he took like an hour. I guess he went and talked to the principal and other people, and I was just sitting there. And then he came back, and he was like, everyone says you're really good. Are you going to help us beat those guys if I let you back? That's exact words. I can't even make this up. And I said, yeah. And he was like, all right, I'm going to let you back. I'm going to hold you to that. And he let me in, and I went. And, I was obviously real cool with Rashid. He wasn't really all that mad. They were already good. They had other players. But some of the other guys that I was cool with were kind of upset, like they couldn't believe that I told them all summer I was going there and that I went there. But, it was kind of one of those, they had played the last 2 years and they lost to Gratz 2 years in a row. So they kind of knew we probably was going to meet. But, this time I felt like I, made a big difference. Obviously with the way I played, me being a point guard of who I am. And, we beat them. You know what I mean? And it was, a big surprise to everybody. But we used to all talk about, like, we're going to win. We didn't really say it to everybody, but privately we would say, like, listen, we're going to beat them. Like, no matter, I know everyone is scared of them, but we're going to beat them. And I used to tell anybody.
Around that time, I mean to cut you off, a lot of people were saying that y'all could do it.
Right.
A lot of people, like, around the city, we talk about basketball. We play basketball. FLC could do it this year.
We didn't hear that. All we heard was Gratz. So, it was good. But we did both of us did a couple things that was funny that year. Gratz came to our game. The whole team walked in with their championship jackets and watched us play somebody. And it was just like, like intimidated, like, yeah, we coming to see, we here. So it's funny, we end up doing that. We end up doing it late in the year. All of us went to the game and watched them play at Gratz. And, it was just funny that we did those type of things to try to get the mental edge. And then we played them, we beat them. And, that year we ended up 25-2. We beat Oak Hill that year. We beat Gratz, obviously. We went to we was number 3 in the country.
Right.
So, we had a great year. And it was satisfying because, I thought about it like, damn, all this happened after I was 5 seconds from going the other way. I remember that sub stop, just like not at Columbia back then, going that way to Fairmount instead of going the other way. But it's just funny, the decisions that you make in life and what happens, the outcomes of it.
So basically, you saying you had an opportunity to swim and go with the flow where everybody's going,
Right.
and you chose to do different, and you still came out successful.
Yeah, man, I've been kind of that person all my life, as you know. Like, I'm not really a go with the flow person. So, I just felt, I wanted to go. I love Rashid. That's my guy to this day. I love, Reds, all those guys. A lot of those guys I was cool with. But in my heart, I was just kind of like, I'm going to be a little part of something that they got over here. But if I go over here, I'm going to be a bigger part. And if we win, it's going to be like, man, you was the missing piece because for 2 years they couldn't get it done, and now I go and we get it done. So, that played a part in it too. So, I just felt like, I fit in better over in that situation. So, it worked out. It worked out.
Going against the grain like that can cause a lot of adversity and controversy as well. What type of adversity, what type of hurdles did you face when you decided to go against the grain at the last moment?
Well, I had a little backlash because, one of my good friends, Sean Red Smith, was the point guard there. And he was really excited about us playing together because we had knew each other, played on teams together. And this is the first that we would be able to play in high school. So he was a little upset. Like, back then, it's different now. Everybody's buddy-buddy. But we really didn't talk. We went from talking every day, being with each other, to, like, not talking. That was kind of hard because we were, like, really, really tight. But I made the decision based for me that was going to help me, or what I thought I wanted, not for him or anybody else. So, it was a little adversity with things like that, but, being called a traitor or this, that, the other. But, like, I wasn't worried about it. I'm from North Philly, so I wasn't worried about that. I just decided I'm going to do what I want to do, what I think is best for me. So that's what I did. And luckily it worked. That doesn't always work out when you do what you want to do, but, it worked out well for me. The only thing that I won't even say I regret, because I had a good coach, but I never really got a chance to play for Mr. Ellaby, who I know is a great, great coach. That would have been a good experience. That's probably what I missed. But the basketball part, I was cool. I was with Tyrone Weaves, all the guys that I'm cool with, Farron Hand. I was at the school for 9th grade, so I knew all those guys already. So, it was that was probably better for me winning it there than going to Gratz and winning it.
So nowadays, you got a lot of guys on every level doing that, going with the flow. Even we could take the Kevin Durant situation, how he would have went to Gratz to win the championship, and you went the other way. What could you tell the kids? Because a lot of the kids are doing the same thing. I want to go to this school. I want to go to that school so we can win. A lot of guys want to go to Emotep. A lot of guys want to go to King just so they can be in a championship race or compete for a championship. What would you tell those guys? What kind of information can you give them? Advice can you give them about going their own way and being a bigger fish in a smaller pond instead of just jumping in the stream with the fish that's already flowing the same way as the stream?
I mean, to me, I don't think it's one way to go, because sometimes going your own way doesn't work out. Like, you going your own way and you by yourself, or you're not maybe with as good of a team or as good of a coach, and it doesn't work out. So I don't agree that it's one way. You have to choose what's best for you. I like Kevin Durant's decision. Kevin Durant was in Oklahoma City. He was with a player that was a great player, Russell Westbrook. They couldn't get it done. he decided to go somewhere else where he felt like, I'm going to get it done. I don't want to be Charles Barkley and some of these other guys who don't have a ring. To me, that doesn't make Charles Barkley and them less because they were great players. But I don't knock Kevin Durant for saying, I want to go here. I think I got a better chance of winning. Kevin Durant's still a great player. I don't think he's less of a player because he plays with Steph and plays with those guys. People say, oh, he should go to New York and do, and then what? Score 30 points and don't win a championship and don't be in the conference finals and championships and all that. I mean, some people are stats driven. They like stats. So I average 25. I average 30. But I'm good with averaging 24 and winning chips. To me, Klay Thompson could go somewhere else and probably average 25, 20, maybe. But when he out in the second round, I don't know how much he's going to like that than when he's winning championships. So I just think that sometimes it is good to go your own way. It is. Make your own path. But I don't think that's it's the end-all, be-all that you have to do that. You have to make the decision that's best for you. That's what you do.
Definitely. So when you say you went to prep school,
Yes.
what brought that decision about? You just coming off winning a championship,
Right.
You know, knocking off the best team in probably this part of the United States.
I just thought that was the best thing for me. You know, they were calling me and telling me how, you know, they had, fifth-year players, they had juniors, they had sophomores. That was like the place to go. Sam Cassell went there. A million guys went to Maine Central Institute and went on to college fame and even NBA. So, you know, I thought it was a good decision. Then I got a chance to actually go up there with somebody I knew already, Catino Mobley, obviously Cat, and we ended up. It was probably the best decision that I made because we had 9 Division I players that ended up going D1. But the coach was a man who, back then I hated, but was probably one of the people that's helped shape my life because he turned me into a young man instead of a spoiled, talented player. Turned me into a man. His name was Max Good, college coach, and he's done a lot of coach UNLV, coach Loyola Marymount, head coach, and he sent a lot of players through Maine Central. So, that was one of the best things. I got to experience things, go to Pittsfield, Maine, and just experience life, man, different cultures. It was just, culture shock, a lot of the weather, 8-9 inches of snow every day, 12 inches, like it was just hard. You lived on campus boarding school, obviously, 10 hours from home because I'm in Maine.
Right.
So, but those experiences turn you into, I have some of those relationships that, have lasted since then all the way to now.
Right.
So, the friendships and things like that, and even the memories, and even some of my coaching style I get from him too as well. He was a lunatic, but, he was very good at what he did, and a lot of people respect him. Like I say, he sent numerous players to the league, and obviously even a big amount of players to Division I college. So it was a good experience for me.
And your choice to do this, Maine Central, was it to bolster your recruiting for college or your readiness to be a college player?
Well, it was actually 3 things. It was with those 2 things you said, but it also was SATs. You know what I mean? So you can't get into college if you don't have your SATs. And I wasn't confident. Like, that was one of the things that he said. You come here, gonna have SAT prep. I didn't know about all that back then. Especially in Philly, at my school. So I was like, you know what? He's like, man, you don't want to be a guy who can play ball and be not qualified. So I'm like, man, he's right. So he just told me all the benefits of going, academics, basketball, classes that's going to be college-ready classes that, when you go to college, you'll be a little bit more ready because the classes that you're going to take there compared to what I would have took at FLC. So a lot of reasons. And, I was kind of hesitant at first. This is so far. But, at the end of the day, I decided that I thought it was the best choice and it could help me, and it did. So.
I'm glad you said SATs was a big factor in that, because that's leading to my next question for you. What can we do to better prepare the young men, the men that are from poverty-stricken areas of the city that struggle with class, but they have extreme talent on the court because they always run into the brick wall when it's time to get ready for senior year, it's time to get ready for college. They can't go to school where they want to, or even when they get in college, they struggle. What type of institutions or what type of programs or anything that we could have in place to better prepare these guys for being academically eligible?
I mean, it's all about sacrifices to me because, you know, we all come from tough situations. A lot of these schools are not, they don't prepare these kids for the SATs and college and things like that. Some of it, but some of those questions on the test, they're not prepared. But there's SAT prep classes, some of them are free, some of you have to pay for it. You just have to do your own investigation and gather the information because there's knowledge out there that you can get. There's classes you can take, but you have to do it. And sometimes that means not getting 4 pair of sneaks in the next 3 months. Maybe you only can get 2 pair of $250 sneaks so that you can pay for that SAT class or that SAT course. You know what I mean? And it's really about sacrifice, and it's about just, you know, you got to grind. Same way you grinding on the court, you got to grind to get that information because there is tools that you can use that, you know, that can help you. Like I said, SAT courses, SAT prep courses, and just a lot of things that's out there that sometimes we don't know about. We have to ask, and so that we can gain that knowledge because sometimes we don't get it because we don't ask. You know what I mean?
So, as you saw the enormous talent of your era and the era before you, how do you see the talent now as, you know, less big man, the guard play is more of a shooting guard play, you know, everybody's basically the same height, trying to do the same things. Like, what do you try to show your players as a coach when you're undersized, so to speak?
So I've been blessed that most of the years at King, I've had big guys. Turk will tell you, I've had guys 6'9", 6'8". It's crazy. We're experiencing it this year. We're not going to have that, but every year I got somebody 6'9", you know, guys that not really knowing I get them because the big schools don't want them because they're not that good. But, you know, you got to be a developer. You got to develop. But everybody's not good at that. You know, everybody's not good at developing. Some people can draw you the best plays on earth, but they can't get somebody better. And then it's the opposite. Some people can develop, but they don't know X's and O's. So, you know, I think I'm, you know, blessed to be skilled at both. So I've been able to have big guys and develop them from guys that people don't really know much about or don't think highly of them. And, you know, now they're, you know, Tyree Marshall's at Ryder, Will McNair's at New Mexico State. Like, we've done a good job with these bigs and getting them some places that people never ever thought, you know, that was even possible. But, you know, it comes from hard work. So, but I learned from when I was in Europe, especially Italy. I train everybody, give them all the skills. So people don't understand, like, Turk will tell you, I'm the one who trained our big guys. Like, I'm a guard, but I train big guys. Even though I train big guys all around the country for Under Armour, I train all our bigs that's come through King. Jason Lawson would do, he's going now, but he would do like more of the defense. But I would train the guys on offensive skills, me, all by myself. On footwork, you know, head and shoulder fakes, movement, all of those type of things, which is important every position, but especially in the post. How to have a feel for things. That's been me. So I teach all my players all the skills because that's what they do in Europe. Guys from Europe, they don't have, on teams in Europe, they don't have guards down here, bigs down here. Everybody's doing the same thing. So guards are learning to post up. Bigs are learning to double cross between the legs and shoot a three. So when you have that, that means that you're learning everything. You're not just, I'm only in this box. You know, they put you in a box a lot of times. You're a big guy, you got to stay down low. You're a guard, you got to just. So they teach all the skills. So that's kind of where I got that from, where I really try to teach all the skills to my players, and even like my clients that I have. I train them on everything, not just whatever position they play. Because you don't know, like you said, it's kind of almost like positionless basketball these days. So you you may be 6'2", but you might play the 3 on certain teams. So you can't be, oh, well, I'm 6'1", I'm a point guard. No, you're a 3 on this team. So you never know. So you have to be, you have to know what's going on. You know what I mean? I obviously have a kid, DeAndre Hunter, right now in South Virginia. He's 6'8", but he's projected to be a 3 in the NBA. Maybe even a 2 sometimes. He plays the 4 for Virginia, but he's really a 2-3, and really used to play center for his high school at Front Central. Even the AU for us, he playing the 2. In high school, he playing the 5. So summertime, he's a 2. Wintertime, he's a 5. So you know what I mean? You just you have to be skilled, try to be skilled, and be versatile. I believe that's the word.
See some of that in them too.
You gotta be versatile.
Just some black coffee for all you parents out there. We know the perception that you have of what you want your child to be, but you got to get out the way and let the coaches do what they do. I mean, a lot of parents get in the way when coaches are doing training. Oh, my kid's a point guard. My kid's a big man. You don't know what your child's going to be when he turns 14, 15. He might be bigger than everyone while he's in elementary school and then never grow again. So now you had him playing big man all his life, and now he has to be a guard because when he turned 15, 16, he's still 6 feet. Or he might be short, and you're teaching him how to play point guard, and then in the last 3 years of his teens, 15, 16, 17, he shoot up 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, and now he don't know how to play any other position but point guard. So parents, get out the way and let the good coaches do what they're capable of doing. That's why you brought your kid to them. You know what I mean? Get out the way and let the coaches do what they do. You don't know you're not skilled in that area. Don't be trying to fix the drywall in your house. You're not a home remodeler. Don't be trying to coach your kids. You're not a basketball coach. Don't be trying to train them. You're not a trainer. Do what you're good at and let the people that are good do what they're good at. Hey, Donna joined us on FaceTime.
Good point. Do you feel the total basketball, the scene, so to speak, in Philadelphia is it hurting? Is it growing? How would you see it?
Well, the basketball scene in Philadelphia is good, but I always tell people this. What we're missing is people here in Philadelphia, like other cities, D.C., all the top cities, so like the DMV area is the area that has the most Division I players around now, right? They've gotten the kids to get in the gym. People here are still on, and I won't say the names, but they'll play in summer leagues and things like that, and instead of playing in the leagues that they need to play in. For instance, they'll say, I have a game tonight in whatever league. And it could be outside, whatever. But I'm not, so that means I'm not working out today, or I'm not working out this afternoon. What? Like, what do you mean? The games are important, but that work that you put in that gym is just, you just can't beat it. People try to run away from it. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. The work is what matters. And a lot of times we run from it. We try to figure out, it's no magic pill. Get your ass in the gym and work. Get with somebody who kind of know what they're doing or really know what they're doing. One or the other, whatever you prefer. And let's get it. But we do a lot of, I'm going to have them play in such and such league. I'm going to have them play in such and such league. When it's like, you need to get in the gym. You need to get in the gym. And them people in D.C., them people in Maryland, them people in Virginia, they had them kids in North Carolina, they had them kids in the gym. In the gym, 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 in the gym. And that's why they get better. And that's why you see, when you see the top 100, this, that, like, damn, so many people from D.C. and from Virginia and from Maryland. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I mean, I can't beat it. Even Jersey is really doing a good job of that. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying we don't at all, but we just got to have more of a handle on our kids to be able to get them in the gym, and because that's where the success happens. Like you see the success on the court, but where it happens in the grind, it's in that gym, and you can't beat it. You can't replace it with something else. It's the gym. And once we understand that as adults and kids, I think Philadelphia will even explode more. We're doing well. We get the good players, but I don't know if we get enough. We have a lot of talent. I don't know if we grow our kids into 5-star talent. We get the mid-majors and the three, but we don't get a whole lot of DeAndre Hunters. We don't get a whole lot of Quade Green. We don't get a whole lot of Mil Jefferson. And we get some, but you know, a lot of these players, they getting 3 and 4 a year. You look at them McDonald's, I'm like, damn, there's 3 people from Maryland, or 3 people from Virginia. Like because they're just pushing, and they working. And that's what you gotta do, man. You gotta work.
Work. That's what we need, man. I know I've seen the work ethic coming up, and I just don't see, it's more, I would say glamour now, you know what I mean, just to be a good player, you know what I mean, and no hard work involved. And I have another question for you.
Mhm.
You're high school coaching now. Do you see yourself at the next level or levels above coaching, or are you just trying to, help the young folks grow as a high school coach?
Well, I definitely want to be a college or NBA coach. You know, I just got my degree. At the end of August. So now I'm able to, go for jobs for college, Division I, and things like that. So, I never was eligible before, even though I wanted to. Had a really good few years at King. We won championships. We've, been in the championship the last 2 years. So things are going great. I had a really good, done really well in the AAU, Philly Pride. We've done amazing things for Under Armour. I'm a trainer, train all the top players in the country, for Under Armour. I train pros. So I definitely want to go to the next level, whether it's college or NBA. And, now I'm just working towards that. Now, I always was working towards it, but I'm even working even more now that I have my degree, because now I don't have really anything in the way now. So, I'm just grinding every day and waiting for my opportunity, but, I'm still concentrating on Martin Luther King basketball and Philly Pride AU and, the Sean Colson workouts. Obviously, I'm doing that every day. So, just trying to get in, man. Just trying to get in and keep working. That's it. All you gotta do is keep your head down and keep working. I feel like, I'm a good person. I'm talented at what I do, and, things will happen the way it's supposed to. So.
You just said you say you just got your degree in August, right? What'd you get your degree in?
Yes, criminal justice.
Congratulations!
Yes.
Congratulations! That's a huge step for a black man to get his degree, because we don't come into this world with the ability to go to college. Our parents don't have money saved up for us to get in college. We don't have the funding to get in college, and most of the time we went to public schools when we weren't prepared for college, so we didn't even have the grades to get scholarships. So what can you tell the people out there, not just the basketball players, not just the athletes, about the importance of, because I just made a post about this probably a couple days ago, about if you're going to be somewhere, get something out of it. You're going to be in class for 45 minutes, get something out of it, learn something. If you got to be in school for 4 years, get something out of it. What could you tell the people and the kids about how important that degree is? Why do you need a degree to coach? How important was that for you?
It was important. What I would say first is, don't wait till you get in your early 40s to go back to school to get it. Get it now, because I had plenty of nights where, man, I had, my wife Donna was watching me and talking to me, and just like, it was just crazy. A lot of long nights, man. And I wanted to do it on my own. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want any help. You know how people do. They get people to write their papers or do this. Like, my wife is she's a witness of me staying up all those nights, and even her, a lot of nights actually leaving, saying, you know what, all right, babe, I'm going to sleep. You know what I mean? And I would be up to 3 in the morning, doing papers or, doing statistics work and things like that because I I had quite a few classes. So, it was rough, but I would say, so it's definitely harder after all those years, you know what I mean? So I think now I would tell people, just get it done, man. Like, it's hard, but just get it. I could have got it done then. I only needed like 3 or 4 classes then. And what I did was I waited all those years because I went to junior college. So when I finally decided to do it, I'm like, oh man, I'm only going to need 3 or 4 classes and I'm just going to go right into college coaching. But what happened was all those classes in junior college now, it's been 15, 17 years since I was in school. They're not good anymore. They don't transfer anymore. So I had to end up taking about 11 classes instead of the 3 or 4. So, it made the process even longer, but it was well worth it. But these kids, you gotta have something to fall back on, man. A lot of these kids, I was lucky enough to play in the NBA. Not for 10 years, but I was lucky enough to play. I was lucky enough to have a great career overseas, make some good money, things like that. But, I don't have $50 million or anything like that. So, you still gotta work. Whenever you decide whether you end up making it in sports or not, you're gonna need that degree. You're gonna need that education for your second part of your life. Now, your second part of your life could start at 23 or it could start at 37 after you've had a long professional career. So you don't know, but you're going to need it either way. Whenever it starts, you're going to need it. So, I just think that, we got to promote that. We promote, those Under Armours or those Vapor Maxes that just can't. We promote LeBron and all this. We got to promote, education more. And not even just education, just getting a degree, man. It matters. It just does. This world, a lot of things you can't do. Now, it's not you don't have to have it where if you don't get it, your life is over. But I will say that I think it can make your life extremely better, and it can make you get further easier by having that piece of paper. It's not everything, because there are a lot of people out here that's listening to this show. They're very successful and they didn't go to college or they didn't get a degree. But I was successful even though I didn't have my degree. But it can make it a lot easier if you get it. And it can set you up for things that you want to do a lot easier if you get it. And we need to promote that more to these young kids out here.
Not only that, just to touch base on the significance of having your college degree, it doesn't mean you're smart. It doesn't mean that you know more than anyone else. What it says to the world is you can set a goal, and over a duration of time, a period of time that's 3, 4, 6, 8 years, you can complete that goal. So there's very well people that are, the most richest people in the world don't have college degrees. You know what I mean? But they focused on making money and they did that. But what the college degree says to the rest of the world, the working world, you can set a goal and you can stick to it and you can finish it. Because to get that degree, it is difficult. There's a lot of late nights where you got to study. There's a lot of times you got to turn down a party. There's a lot of meaningless classes that you're never going to use again. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of peer pressure from your family, from your peers, from an economical standpoint, not having the money. It's a lot of different pressures for you to encounter before you get that degree. And when you get it, it says to the working world, this person is able to endure pain and obstacles and different type of hurdles and still come out successful. That's what it says. That's what they want to know. They don't want to know how smart you are when they ask, do you have a college degree? They want to know, can you set a goal and stick to it? So make sure you guys, if you got to be there, if you have to be there, learn something. Learn something, pay attention. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to play overseas. I'm going to the NBA. Because guess what? You can go to the NBA, you can go overseas for 10 years, you can make a gazillion dollars. When you're done, you got to know what you're going to do with it. Those people that you think you're going to pay, watch your money, take care of your money, they're going to be stealing from you once they realize that you're dumb. They're going to be paying for they're going to pay their mortgages with your money. They're going to be paying for their parties with your money. And because you're so dumb, You don't know how to count it. You trust them, they're gonna be taking your money. And everybody, friends, family, the hired help. We gonna get some NBA people in here. They're gonna tell you the stories about how friends and family did them worse. So the most important thing is be able to manage it yourself. So if you got plans on going to the NBA, if you got plans of playing overseas, you're gonna need your degree just so you know how to manage things. There's a lot of guys right now that got $100 million, they retired, $50 million. They don't know what they're gonna do right now. They don't know what to do because they didn't learn anything while they were in school. They didn't find any other talent outside of basketball. Outside, what else do I love besides playing basketball? They didn't figure that out, so they're struggling right now with $100 million.
Crazy. Definitely crazy. Well, closing out, you do the Sean Colson workouts, you said,
Yes,
right?
yes.
How would somebody get in contact with you to bring their child or themselves to,
So the Sean Colson workouts are every day. You know, sometimes they're at Martin Luther King High School. You know, you can call me at 267-709-0006.
say that again?
It's 267-709-0006. You can reach me at any time. You can check all my stuff out on Instagram at COLS3. And, you know, you can, if you want to get kids of all ages, whether it's teenage, obviously people just look at the NBA players and the high school players and college players that I have. But if you look on my Instagram, I got young kids starting at 7 years old. You know, I don't discriminate. My thing is I just like people getting players better, whatever that is, whatever age it is, whatever level you are. Once you come to me, my job is to get you better, and I feel like I do a really good job at that. So, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, taking on more clients. You know, I have a lot. God has blessed me that things are going well, but, you know, I'm always looking for more, and I'm always looking to help and to just, like I said, get players better. So you really trying to come somewhere to get better, and, you know, it's a lot of hard work. I'll work you, but, you know, it'll be worth it at the end.
Can't lie, he ain't lie about that. I couldn't go through one of his workouts. I've been through a lot of workouts. Pat Riley, I've been through his workouts where we worked out for 2 hours, ain't touch a ball. Rick Pitino, those are my first 2 workouts. I can't do a Sean Colson workout right now. So hit him up, y'all. 267-709-0006, 267-709-0006, or on Instagram at Coast3. That's it. We done? We out there?
Well, everybody, this is the Frequency Show. I'm Q Wally. That's Sean Colson. That's Turk. That's the Freak. And we had a great show today.
That's it, y'all.
You got the best name, man. You got the
Freak.
Yeah, the best name, dog. I need a nickname like that. Man.
Great job, Freak.
I need a.
Turk, great job.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean, you got to come back again.
Ah,
Because we ain't dissect you like I wanted
the
to.
phone was dead.
Because it's a lot of stuff we got
They
to talk
didn't
about.
know. They didn't know if you was gonna come,
right.
so they ain't even had the questions ready.
And
I told you I was coming.
He
I told him last
today.
week though.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I said I'm gonna let y'all know on. I told him I was gonna let when you told me you gonna let me know on Monday. I was like I'm gonna let. Listen, you forgot and I forgot.
You told me.
I was at the